Hi, my name is Sebastian Maniscalco, and I feel honored about being Conan O'Brien.
That's very sweet. That's very nice of you to say that.
Although, listen, I know we've met.
You've done the show many times.
Yeah, but we haven't really had a relationship outside the show. It's not like I'm calling you going, what are you doing Friday night? We're having some wine. You want to come by? I just don't know
I'd
why.
love it if you had done that. I would love to have.
But you didn't do it for me either. You know.
Well, that's not going to happen. Sebastian, there are rules, you know? I was the host of the show, and so no matter, you've become huge. You're massive. You're as big a comedy star as I can imagine. But still, you know, because I was the host of those shows, I had to have a wall up.
Okay.
You understand?
I do understand, but my question is, being a host of a show like that, right? And you got a lot of people coming through the door day in, day out. Have you made friendships over the years with a lot of your guests?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have with a pretty good number. You just click with people, and one of the things that it takes is just bumping into them someplace else. That's usually what has to happen, is you bump into them someplace else. So I'm sure if I had bumped into you and we were hanging out, you would have thought, this is the greatest fucking guy I ever met in my life. And then you would have signaled to the waiter, you know, more wine over here. And I'd have said, let me get it, Sebastian. This is on me. And you'd have been like, I love this guy. And then the next thing I'd be at your house.
Yeah.
That would have happened, but we never bumped into each other.
Okay.
Because you were very careful not to bump into me.
Yeah, I didn't go out much.
When I was around.
No.
You were always out on the town, and the minute you read Conan O'Brien's in town, you would lay low.
Yeah.
You would lay low until I passed through. No, I'm very happy for you. You know, it's funny. I was trying to think of you're a very funny comic. You are an amazingly successful comedian, and you've done really well as an actor. And I was trying to think, what is it that Sebastian does that always made me laugh whenever you would come on the show? And I realized today it was your amazement. You do amazement better than most comedians I know. You're totally amazed by how screwed up or fucked up something is.
Yeah.
And that is a big part of your personality. And you stretch it out. Your physicality is really great, but you have your personality like inflates when you're saying, what's going on with this?
Yeah.
I don't understand. And there are a lot of comedians that do what's going on with blank. Your amazement you're the Olivier of amazement, I think. You really are. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm constantly shocked and amazed at, you know, whether it be human behavior or situations or what have you. I just have an exaggerated way of looking at things. It's been the way I've kind of looked at life since I was a kid. So it's not like it's something that I'm putting on for, I mean, obviously it's comedy, so you have to exaggerate a little bit, but the seed of it is coming from complete awe and shock of what I'm seeing. Yeah. So, that tends to be kind of the core of the comedy.
But you know what's great is you tie it in with your history as an Italian American. You know, your dad, I know, and we'll get to this because it's a huge part of your
movie.
And I cannot believe you got Robert De Niro to play your dad.
Yeah,
I mean, this is there are people out there that say, I want to make a movie about my life. I'll find someone to play my dad, you know? And I don't even want to know who I would be able to get. It would.
My wheels are turning.
I know your wheels are turning. It would not be Robert De Niro.
Orville Redenbach.
But I'm really so I think that you do this yes, we all do that. We exaggerate. We take who we are really, and then we turn up the knob to like 15 for the comedic sake. But the core of it is pure. And what you do is it's a very Italian attitude about what the fuck is this all about?
Yeah, it's in the culture. So the upbringing, and my father is a huge part of my comedy, just because, he came from Sicily. He's when he was 15 years old, and he brought a lot of those old world values to America with him. And then in the upbringing, those kind of values were passed on to me. And yeah, it's just, I notice Italian people. I just did a TV show, and the other actress on the TV show was Italian. And when Italians get together, it's almost like other people are looking at us, and it's like we speak like dolphins. They don't even know the communication. Like they're like, I thought there was going to be a fight that was going to break out at any minute when you guys were talking, but it was, we kind of just know there's a familiar way how we communicate with one another. And then when we start speaking outside of the culture, a lot of people tend to see it and go, oh, wow, this is a different kind of take on life. And the take comes from pretty much my dad.
Yeah.
Who's a huge personality and has a lot to say. And I don't know. I just took basically what we were talking about at the kitchen table as a kid and then made a living out of it.
I have said for many years that it all starts at the kitchen table. That's where it started for me, was a lot of brothers and sisters and Sunday dinner. That was the one constant, was Sunday dinner. And then we'd be there and you'd just try and see who could crack up the table the most. And that's where it starts. I really believe it's the same thing. But what's interesting to me about I think you've said that there's almost a negativity with an Italian point of view that's built in. Is that true?
Constantly negative. Everything is always bad. Nothing is ever good. We can't talk about it being good, because if you talk about being good, something bad's going to happen. So that's
it's just so sad.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And it's like I now have trouble enjoying the fruits of my labor. Right? I don't know if you guys have this problem, but like I'm at a point in my life where I should really be extremely happy about what's happening to me.
Yeah.
Yet there is a, part of me that is always kind of looking for the next thing. And am I doing enough? It's just, I got a podcast. Is it good enough? I'm doing a TV show. Is it good enough? So I can't sit there and relax.
Right.
And I don't know if that's just me, or is that people who get to a certain level in their career and feel like they got to maintain that level, and you can't relax until. I'm reading this book called Die with Zero, right? Because I'm having an issue with spending money. And
the issue being you're spending too much, you're not spending it.
I don't know what to spend. Like I grew up working middle class.
Right.
And it was money was a huge topic in our house, and it was always save your money, because you don't know if your tongue is going to fall out and you can't do this anymore, right?
Which does happen.
I wouldn't worry about that one particular thing. Give yourself a break on that.
Yeah. During COVID, you weren't worried at all about COVID. You were worried. Don't worry, you're clear on COVID. My tongue! The tongue could go at any time. What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, COVID was a great example. It's like you save for a rainy day, right? And the rainy day came, and I was still going, I didn't even use the savings.
Right.
I was just trying to figure out how I could make money and live off whatever, doing corporate Zooms, That's what I was doing. I wasn't doing like stand up in my living room, but it would be like a moderator asking me questions, and I would be making the company laugh on Zooms. I did like 38 of these things.
Okay.
My God.
Now,
Over
let me just put this in context for our listeners who don't know, and many people are aware of your massive success. You sold out 4 shows at Madison Square Garden. That's insane. That's an insane achievement. That's you and a microphone, sold out Madison Square Garden, 4 of them.
How many of those people were on Zoom, though?
Yeah, no, it's half.
To be fair, they put a lot of TV screens. Look at me. Hi, everybody. I'm 60. I don't know if you've met me.
I think that works.
When I Zoom, it's a TV. I was picturing televisions with rabbit ears and a Zoom coming over
in
it.
the seats? The televisions are in the
Let's
seats?
just let it go.
Okay.
But my point is, Sebastian, I'm just wanting to put it in context for people that you've had this insane, there are plenty of people in the business that book a sitcom, but they're being careful with their money or this or that. You've had an unprecedented level of success that I can promise you right now is not going anywhere. You have talent and ability, and it's not going anywhere. And you have a devout following. But it's fascinating to me that, you know, when it stops for a little bit, you're thinking, oh my God, how am I going to make the rent?
Yeah.
And to me, this is a very common situation. And I do think that it may not be a coincidence that your dad immigrated here because, I mean, famously, Bob Hope, who, you know, biggest comedian maybe of the 20th century, he immigrated from Wales as a kid and was incredibly poor growing up and tried to make it as a boxer, and his family were like stonemasons. I mean, he had nothing, and he scrounged and finally made it, and then bought up all the orange groves in California when he started making money. And by the time he's in his 90s, he's, I think, the richest entertainer in the United States of America. He's just an incredibly wealthy man. And I know for a fact that he would go into the Valley and with coupons for Carl's Jr. To me, that shit doesn't go away.
Yeah.
You know, when you have, and although you didn't experience that maybe firsthand, you inherit it from your dad,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very powerful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, it makes sense that you're that way.
Yeah, but my whole challenge now is I got like one foot living in that world, and I got a 1 foot living in the world I'm in right now, and I'm trying to, like, you know, just be a little bit more relaxed when it comes to, you know, enjoying my success. I guess that's the struggle I'm having at this current point
Right.
in my life.
It's a good problem.
Yeah, it's a good problem.
But I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about. And I recommend medication. A lot of it, and all kinds. Don't even just get it from other people. Don't even see a psychopharmacologist. I think just get it, random pills from other people, and try them out.
Okay. Terrible advice.